My name is Dylan Allen, and I'm a seminarian for the Diocese of Lafayette, sponsored by Our Lady of Wisdom Catholic Church and Student Center, and I'm a senior here at St. Joseph Seminary College. Yeah, so when I entered college, I was a practicing Catholic growing up. My parents took me to Mass every weekend. Sundays were always meant for Mass. You know, I was confirmed, I received all my sacraments. But when I went to college, that changed. I stopped going to Mass. I no longer had a desire to pursue that or to have a relationship with the Lord. I just didn't want it anymore. And, not going to Mass my freshman year of college and kind of abandoning my faith really did take a toll on me. I couldn't have told you then the reason, but I experienced this sense of emptiness. And I didn't know what the cause was. I didn't know why I was feeling this, but throughout my freshman year of college, I definitely felt the repercussions of this change. And I didn't know where to look either. That wasn't something I really knew how to find on my own. So yeah, that was my faith life. Honestly, non-existent. None of my friends prayed or went to Mass or were even religious, if you will. So I didn't have a community at all that was even willing to pursue a God. So I got involved at Wisdom simply through an invitation. A student, he was a senior when I was a freshman, he simply invited me to go to the Student Center. That was it. He invited me to go get coffee and to just hang out there. I'd talked to him a few times prior. And so I'd go hang out with him in the Student Center in the cafe at campus grounds. But then as our friendship grew, he was more confident in inviting me to other things. So he invited me to Bible study. He invited me to Mass. He invited me to pray with him. And these really snowballed into a great connection at Wisdom and just a great home that I could call Wisdom. And so in that, I started going to Mass again. I started to pray for the first time in my life, really. I'd never had a prayer life. I'd never even thought to have a prayer life. So it's truly the first time I'd had an intimate relationship with Jesus Christ. And so I got involved at Wisdom through that. That simple invitation truly shaped the rest of my college experience and would come to introduce to me this community of amazing people and this reunion with the Mass and the sacraments. So when I came to Wisdom, a big thing for me was I needed some sort of community to be able to foster my faith life. And so really it was a bunch of people at Wisdom that truly molded who I became and provided that display of holiness that I wanted to also have. So I stuck around Wisdom for two main reasons, the community and the sacraments. So for me, community's always been a big thing. It still is, even here at seminary. And when I was introduced to the community at Wisdom, it was something that I'd never had before. These men and women pursuing holiness and pursuing a relationship with Jesus Christ was just so instrumental in my own conversion and my own pursuit to holiness and joy, really. But looking back, it's man, I wish I would have found that sooner. But I'm so glad I found it when I did, because who knows where I'd be. So I first started discerning the priesthood because honestly, our priests, they were such models, and they invited me indirectly to discern the priesthood. Going to Mass, I would look up at the priests, and honestly, I could see myself in their shoes. And so when it was time that I'd brought this enough to my prayer life, I prayed about it more and more as time progressed. It became clear to me I needed to actually make proactive steps in pursuing this. And honestly, I was scared because I didn't know what I wanted. I was a sophomore in college, 19 years old, and I had no clue what I was doing. So there's a little bit of fear, but I started going a spiritual direction, and honestly, everything just kind of started to piece together, and I was able to clearly see that the Lord was in fact calling me to pursue something greater than what I was already doing at UL. Discernment is so joyful. Like, to pursue the Lord's will for me, honestly, I couldn't imagine something better than that. Because I look back to my freshman year of college and I think back to when I really only cared about myself, and I wasn't happy. I was not in a place where I could say, yes, like, I know what I want. I'm happy doing it. Like, no, that wasn't a reality for me. And so when I finally decided to start pursuing something greater than myself, pursuing God's will for me instead of my own will for me, the peace and the joy just came. It was through the guidance of Father Sibley, specifically in this case, and Father Pelletier, who both encouraged me to pursue the Lord now. Because honestly, with discernment, like, who are we to tell God, you're gonna wait for me? Like, no. Like, if God's will for us is what will make us happiest, why wouldn't we want to pursue that now? And so my biggest fear was that, honestly, it was within myself. I couldn't trust the Lord. And I was nervous. I was nervous the Lord was actually calling me to this. And so I just kind of wanted to postpone it. Like, maybe if I don't discern this now, it'll go away. But no, that wasn't the case. Like, I was called then, and I'm still called now to discern the Lord's will. College ministry is so important because students like me who come to college, we think, okay, what do we do now? Like, I'm on my own. I'm trying to figure life out. I'm trying to figure out what I'm supposed to be doing here, whatever that looks like. And college ministry takes students like us and it provides a place, leadership, resources, people necessary to allow us to find a home. It was so vital to my conversion. It was vital to who I am today, for sure. I talk so much and so highly of my time at Wisdom, my 2 years there. And frankly, had it not been for Wisdom, I probably wouldn't be here today. I definitely wouldn't have known I was called to be in seminary. Because like I said, freshman year of college, I didn't know what I wanted, and I didn't know where to find it either. Find like that fulfillment that I yearned for. And so without Wisdom, like, I don't know what I would have done. But I do know this. I'm thankful for Wisdom. I'm thankful for the college ministry that I did have, because it allowed me to pursue the Lord's will for me, to go to Mass, to go do my Bible study. It was so joyful. I loved leading that Bible study every week, just to see like the guys come in every week and join us in prayer, join us in learning about our faith, learning about Scripture. It was so great. And to see all these students come together with the common goal of the pursuit to holiness, it's truly remarkable. I'm thankful to have that second home and to say that I'm a Ragin Cajun Catholic seminarian.
Thank you.